Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan. Here, basically, we are discussing about the uh, formula topic, that is the 157th number. And in 157th number, we are discussing that what actually the formula is, why the formula is getting used, why the formulas are getting used in the project management plan. Without formula, doesn't the thing work? If we say that this project is going to cost $3 lakh, then this will not work. But if you say the round figure, this is not going to work. Then one of the person told that for that, basically each and every person should be rich. Here, basically in the Earth planet, basically there are each and every people are not rich. If each and every people are rich, then basically you can. There is no need of balance sheet also. You just need to give the round figure of the project, and it will be a little bit more, and that's okay. That's fine, but everybody is not rich. So each and every public in this world, basically, for example, in India 200 crore people are there. So each and every public does not have the same amount in the bank balance, sorry, in the bank account. So bank balance of the each and every public of the India, here basically I am in India, so that's why taking the name of the India. If I would be in Singapore, or I would be in Ireland, or I would be in Canada, or I would be in some Australia country, then I would be taking the name of this country. But currently I am in India, so I am taking the name of the India. So in India there are 200 crore people, and um, each and every people does not have same account. Basically, same account means equal account balance is not there in that. That's why basically you have to create the hundreds of balance sheets, and you have to create the you have to maintain the each and every balance sheet of the each and every country. Then only basically the formulas can be used. And formulas equal to set of attributes plus minus and division, and lots of manipulations happens here. So group manipulation happens. So each and every manipulation happens, and then the formula gets created. So the round figure can be. It's very easy basically. You just need to tell that yeah, this project is going to cost $10 lakh. It's going to cost $20 lakh. So it's very easy to tell, but each and every people, they are not rich, right? Because each and every project cost, that is basically directly going to affect to each and every public of the India basically, because the project is going on in India. That's why basically each and every public is going to get that cost. That's why basically the balance sheets are getting maintained. Hundreds of balance sheets are getting maintained, and hundreds of balance sheets are getting modified, keeps changing. Chartered accountant groups are there, costing accounting groups are there. So each and every peoples are there to just to get the exact figure of the costing basically. That is basically the project costing, and each and every attributes cost basically. So each and every formulas cost basically. Which can be get at the certain number of amounts, so that basically it should not get burden to each and every people basically. Because rich people, if rich people says that yeah, this much basically, the amount is basically just 5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees, 20 lakh rupees, then it's not it's very easy to pay this 20 lakh people to them, 20 lakh people from the rich people basically. So rich people can easily pay the 20 lakh rupees. But if this same amount basically somebody says that pay this 20 lakh amount, it's then it's not easy basically, because it will it's going to take lots of burden basically. So the calculation has to be one of the balance sheet, you can say. So balance sheet has to be calculated, each and every amount has to be calculated. So balance sheet gets calculated in the system basically. That is basically the mathematics system basically. That is basically name given as a costing account, the chartered accountancy. So chartered accountant basically contain the costing also, but not in detail basically, but mostly basically contains the whatever required thing, because CA basically contains each and every parts of the accounting departments, because they are the responsible person for the each and every cost basically, you can say. which is getting calculated around them basically in the boundary of them, because there is no single chartered accountant, there are multiple chartered accountant, so the work is getting divided to the each and every chartered accountant. But there are set of groups basically of the chartered accountant who basically is controlling the each and every India market. So India costing of the software is handled by few chartered accountant and costing groups basically, you can say, who says that we are handling the set of chartered accountant groups. For example, there are 35 chartered accountant groups. Just taking as an example, in real number basically it might be totally different. 35 chartered accountant people who are telling that we are handling the entire chartered accountancy and costing departments, costing people of India. So whatever cost basically which is calculated by the software industry, that is basically provided by us only. Reason we are calculating each and everything basically. So you can just imagine the entire chartered accountancy industry and the entire costing industry, whatever the manipulation are doing, that is calculated and that is maintained by the chartered accountancy groups and the costing groups, that are basically the 35 members, and 35 members are calculating each and every attributes of the India market basically, that where basically the software industry is connected, that basic calculation happens, and according to that basically the costing of the software is getting prepared. So you can just imagine the deepness level of the costing of the softwares which is getting happen, and the budget of the costing department and the project management plan industry, that is basically the PMI industry, who are basically the in the Pune industry, sorry, in Pune city basically, but it has given the name as a Pune software industry because there are lots of big software companies there, and project management plan industry basically, sorry, the PMI industry, that is basically the project management institute basically, that institute is situated in Pune. So the main branches of the India is in Pune, and the main branch of world is basically in USA. So USA is handling the Pune city. Sorry, the Pune, not Pune entire city. They are just handling the Pune PMI industry. That is basically Pune PMI groups. So, like this, basically, you can just imagine the costing structure also, which has generated. So, round figure basically anybody can give. If anybody says that this project is just going to cost 20 lakh dollar, why you are not telling the client to the 20 lakh dollars? Then basically he explained this thing. Basically, in India, basically there are 200 crore people, and they are, all people are not basically rich. So if all people are rich, then basically there is no issue. You can tell directly the 20 lakh, 20 lakh dollar. But each and every people are not rich. Each and every people does not have the good bank balance in their account. Few people don't have the bank balance also. That type of people basically also exist in the in the sorry, in the India country basically, you can say. So you can just imagine the calculation deepness level also of the software industry of the project management plan, that is basically PMI industry, up to what level these groups are basically thinking. So nobody can basically think up to this level as the USA, or yeah, as the PMI Pune industry has think. They have created hundreds of balance sheet on the basis of just one attributes. Up to this deepness level, basically they have thought. So whole world basically might be thinking about the Pune and the PMI industry, where basically Pune is exist. And Pune will be telling we are not basically doing anything. We are just handling the stuff basically which is given by the United States of America. They are basically the handling each and every hundreds of balance sheet, and they are just giving us the data. Each and every stuff is basically USA is doing, and USA will tell basically the countries are basically giving the balance sheets, and we are just manipulating the things. So basically, each and every peoples are telling that they have done, they are given, they have given, they are given. So that's ultimately basically United States of America is the response, is will be the responsible, but each and every countries are basically are handling the balance sheet. So uh, only basically USA, you can't blame only the USA country. because USA country is also not a god country. Basically, you can say they are also not god. They are also human being basically, and Pune is also human being basically. They are in PMI basically. They are also not god basically. If they are god, then basically there is no mistake. If they are god, then there is no mistake. So, like this, basically, this project management plan, that is basically the PMI, also you can say PMI industry, project management plan industry, also you can say. This basically project management plan, it's not an industry, but it's actually equal to industry, basically, you can say. Why? Because if one for project management plan contains many formulas, but if one single formula that contains two or three attributes and each attributes basically contains hundreds of balance sheets, then by default basically it has to given the name as an industry only, no? Each and every documents basically has to give an in name as an industry. For example, UTC, unit test of case industry, project management plan, project management plan industry. But it's not like that. Basically, the name has given, but the balance sheet has connected to each and every documents. So each and every documents basically are directly connected with the balance sheets. So hundreds of countries basically are connected to one balance sheet. Each and every time basically topic I basically discussed, I always discuss this topic, that is basically one attribute equal to hundreds of balance sheets, and hundreds of balance sheet are created by each and every country. So one balance sheet is created by one country. So you can just imagine the deepness level of the costing. And why hundreds of country? Because each and every currencies are connected with each and every country. So just think the currency level also which is getting connected here. So from that one balance sheet, the world is getting connect. World costing department is getting connect. World each and every budget is getting connected of the project, and the currency department also is getting connected. Why currency department? Because the calculation which is getting connected here, they're basically that are basically connected with the other countries also, because the Indian currencies are connected with each and every countries. And in India basically each and every countries people are also coming. That's why basically the currencies are also connected with here basically. That's why basically I told one attribute equals to hundreds of balance sheet, and one balance sheet is created by one country. That's why basically 100 minimum country basically are connected with India. That is basically by default, because reason is each and every countries are connected with each other, and the currency departments are connected with each other of the currency of the international currency, basically you can say, with the help of the passport. That is basically the unique identification of each and every members. So like this, each and every peoples are connected, and the balance sheet gets connect here. Here basically balance sheet is not of the individual person. Um, Otherwise, basically, lots of people say that 200 crore people are staying in India. So, is this 200 crore people balance sheet also contained uh, in this 100 balance sheet? It's not like that basically. So, here basically we are basically discussing that the formulas are connected with the set of attributes, and the plus minus and the division and lots of calculations are, and each and every attributes are basically connected with the balance sheets, and balance sheets are connected with the each and every country. So we can just imagine the structure level of the creation also, you can say the structure level of the formula, the structure level of the attributes, the structure level of uh, the creations, basically you can say. So you can just imagine the thinking level and which is happening here, and the thinking level of the balance sheet, thinking level of the chartered accountancy department, thinking level of the costing department, and each and every departments are basically connected with the accounting department. And here basically the tax departments are also connected. Why tax department are connected? Because the reason is Each and every people basically nowadays basically the if you have more than 5 to 6 lakh amount as a per annum salary, then only basically the tax gets deduct. Otherwise, basically tax does not get deduct. So the money level is also getting increased according to the expense level basically of the each and every human people. Previously, it was just 3 to 4 lakh basically, but nowadays it's more than 4 5 lakh, basically 5 to 6 lakh basically. You can say. So you can just imagine the tax level also getting calculated here, because tax is also connected with this balance sheet, because balance sheet contains the tax amount also. So there are lots of balance sheet which says that this include tax, this does not include tax, but this does not happens. This type of balance sheet has never prepared that tax balance sheet and without tax balance sheet. That type of balance sheet basically the India has never prepared, because here basically in India you have to pay each and every amount, each and every tax amount of the which you are consuming the part. For example, you are earning more than 10 to 20 lakh, then basically you have to by default you have to pay the tax. Otherwise, you do the investment, do the tax calculation, prepare the tax calculation from the with the help of the tax experts that are basically chartered accountant groups or some accounting industry. Tell them that basically I don't want to pay this much tax. So if you have any alternative, then basically they will tell the alternative of the investment. So you have to do the investment. Then basically the investment are done basically, and the investment basically by default are taken by the banking industry, and banking industry by default they do the investment in the land basically, you can say. So they prepares the products, they prepare dump the sorry they prepare the products, and they prepare the cities basically by default, you can say. So they invest their money in the cities. So the money basically whatever gets invested, whatever gets invest do the is getting invested by the investor. That is by default it's getting invested in the cities basically. Either it's into the creation of city or it's into the maintaining the city. So by default it's city only. If you are doing in this some certain areas, but that certain area comes into cities only. So like this, basically the city creations happen, city modifications happen, and there are lots of stuff basically which are getting happening and which are getting happened also basically, you can say. So here by default the tax department also connected with the software industry basically, and the reason behind is tax group department is also using the bank using the software. But there are many. I had told one example. I actually got one call from one of the lady, and she told me that can I get the? I actually my loan got rejected due to some certain reason. So loan get rejected, then basically I calculated the each and every attributes which was passed in the system, that this is the salary, that is the salary, that is the income, that is the investment provided by this much is the bank balance, this much is the properties, this much is the investment, the mutual funds, each and every investment basically, and this is the age of that lady. So like this, basically each and every attributes were given and the marital status of that lady. So like that, basically I passed each and every attributes, and again I checked. Then basically the conclusion was the salary which was getting. The salary was 5 to 6 lakhs. Uh, 5 to 6 lakh, not crore in dollar. So like this, the amount was like this. So due to that, basically the amount was got rejected. The loan was got rejected. Then basically, I told one example to that lady, and the example was there are many systems basically that does not exist in the computerized system, and there are lots of formulas which is not given to the computerized. That is basically handled by the top level management department. So you can connect to the top level department, and then if they helps, then basically you can get the loan basically. Then basically the loan was provided. Few certain amount of loan was given, because software industries are also connected here. because the certain amount of certain reservation basically is kept by the directors, by the managers. So entire amount is not given to the computerized system. Certain amounts are kept as a reserve also. So like this on the reserve amount, basically that lady basically got the amount. So you can just imagine the situation of the formulas also, because these all are basically whichever things are getting happening that are basically connected with the formulas. So here basically we are stopping here, and here basically we are talking about the project management plan, uh, each and every formulas, each and every attributes, each and every balance sheets, and each and every things are basically connected with the software industry and the Bollywood industry. The reason Bollywood industries has created their user stories, on the base of these user stories, the software industry has created, and the software industries, that is basically the 20,000 buildings that basically exist in the 190 countries. So here basically we are stopping from in 190 countries where the software industry investment exists.